Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
We're gonna need more than a few buckets.
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
Is that good?
Yes, sir. As fine a specimen as one of her stock, sir. Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
We must let the flames spread to the harbor.
What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
We need more help, or she's lost!
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her. Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
We need more help, or she's lost!
Sailor, what news from the mainland?
Oh, nothing new, sir. Zombies, skeletons, you know the story. Sauce? Here? In Sicily? Madness! Thought we would...
Ahoy, sailor! Name's Conrad. Cargo trader. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider...
Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
Sweet relief.
The ship's blazing ever higher!
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
We need more help or she's lost!
Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
Come on, man, put your backs into it!
The ship's blazing ever higher!
Are these the biggest buckets we've got? Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
We must let the flames spread to the harbor.
We need more help, or she's lost!
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour!
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour!
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her. Come on, then. Put your backs into it.
We need more help, or she's lost!
Come on, mate. Put your backs into it.
What if the orcs...
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbor! We need more help, or she's lost.
The ship's blazing ever higher.
I need to dry off.
I don't know how you did that, hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a... I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the Ark... Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius. Proud Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and other...
This place reeks of orc stench. Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
There just aren't any thieves around. If there were no thieves, why would we be guarding this place? Think!
Makes sense, sir. God, duty's not so bad. Hey,
Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
just making conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
Come now, it's just a turn of phrase.
Will you please turn your phrases elsewhere?
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's purring, darling.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
Two-bit indeed.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can. My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orc? Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a...
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity, I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only. And it has worked exactly...
You see what a fool my friend has been. Spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie?
This place reeks of orc stench.
Keep your pleasantries to yourself. If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my comrade Flop. As for myself, my job is to protect this warehouse. That idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred. Even thinking of him...
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
I feel a cold inside my soul. The bane of age, the crux of years.
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what?
Need a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Oh, you can speak that way to her. Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on these down.
Anyone is fresh. He's back to Need a big cheese on your block with a wheel.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero, the whole of Sicey. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate, Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once in a...
Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine golden bear.
I'm here to do my duty, which is hardly the same as adventuring.
So you mean to say we do not...
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voice their... too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right?
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
Well, I can't say that I haven't.
Yes, some...
Indeed. Indeed, gold is... Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without...
Cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be served.
Well spoken. And that is exactly why I am here. Ah, the fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have credit. What a gem of a question. Straight as an... Now then, To join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share of the reward from their contracts too. Isn't that wonderful?
Careful now. Your head burning around, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Fresh haddock. Nothing more fire.
Oh, you think you can speak that way away? Well, if I can say it, I've got my eye on you, Sarah.
I am a human.
By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, work hard. Fulfill contracts. Enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Riverlon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter. And you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like? They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the...
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more stimulating. Oh, stand still then, if you don't mind. Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face... quite classical, isn't it? Statuesque, some might say. Yes, smooth and sturdy, and my word, what passion burns from your eyes. That I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like if you could only fill a certain void, could connect with the right body, the right spirit. Together you could uncover new and thrilling vistas. I believe I have found that component. That yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits. Together, as a team, we'll
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair the... Why? I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ah, pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind. How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that who I am is hardly any of your business. And anyone with an ounce of tact would have known that already. Can I tell you? I suppose I can. And I could. But why would I turn my attention away from this whiskey when Mendius right outside is simply...
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the Northern Cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
Home, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting in my ear.
unfortunate challenge.
It's you. Just the person to answer a question that's been knocking around my mind since our first meeting. Now then, you must tell me, what's the best way of getting you to leave me alone on a more permanent basis?
You could even fathom, old friend.
It's you. Just the person to answer a question that's been...
Oh, my good back, demon! Back her up! Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy, you wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often. Medora's the name. Retired. Or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of heaven's hornets. That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, well, see, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run of them. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases. I came south seeking the Legion's help. By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers. When one of them activated, I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use... I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now.
Fortunate challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils.
Another source hunter on the team.
That's the spirit. Listen close.
It's you. Just the person. Can I tell you? I suppose I can. And I could.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say.
Watch out. I smell...
Ah, you return and humble me with your presence. Ah, you like nothing more than to... Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this waiver, and just like that...
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold.
And me! Me... Oh.
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous 5 material, him. His experimental weapons may keep a couple of skeletons away from the city, but many of his other research... One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed to crush the undead, but you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed... Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous 5. the braves who eat such
It's you. Just the person to answer a... You've been sent after Ahu's insane robot, I understand. Do you imagine that while you're busy being crushed by that abomination, I'll manage to get through a whole drink, distraction-free? How curious of you to show interest in a lone... So you've wrangled a position in the Fabulous Five, have you? I'm fairly brimming with enthusiasm at the prospect of calling you a partner. You'd better leave me undisturbed, or my... Stop right there. Until you've received the captain's permission to enter, this door doesn't...
That's enough of that now.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! These should be so lucky as to need it.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sicil's ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond there.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond there.
Aim straight, aim true. Arrows by the dozens.
Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond there.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11?
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes. Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Well, hello there.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Sweet relief.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
A good day to you.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. I'm a painter by trade, as you. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps. Like this rooster I'm working on now. I'm a...
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for...
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like midday. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
A good day to you.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens. Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots. On the move for cheese. Thank the seven, we secured the...
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda, dearest. I'm just doing my duty, you know, for the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, milady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head shall be harmed. Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my duties lie here. I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver, and Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicile. The Council of 7, and what questions are those? I remember waking up with a head full of hammers 2 years ago. The drill sergeant barking away, "Up you get, lads, we sail for sight." I hold by the belief that this place is cursed.
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both so young when we married. He so rich. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. So what happened? Some of them tit-or-tat...
Well, what do you want to know?
She seems to be quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Now, where is my pepper? Did it sprout legs and run away?
Good luck out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Sicile's ramparts.
May the 7 keep you.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
May the 7 keep you.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
Oh, it goes to and fro the city's youth. They hustle and bustle. When I sit here
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through this here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can... What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the 3rd degree? Now, if you don't mind, I'm trying to run a... That's enough of that now!
I've spotted something.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
So, which of you is more deserving of life?
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine. But, no matter. No. Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you... It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. Not to mention that it's been my guidance. Yes. If that... She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fan... But she claims to have gotten... Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted... Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right. Certainly. What would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly... From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to... I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter.
Healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
That relic of Evelyn's, the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. One look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through.
That tone...
So, which of you is more deserving of life? I know I'm not the most, circumspect sort of source hunter. But in this case, I feel we ought to tread carefully. Bloodstone is so named for a reason. If that stone is what I suspect, I wouldn't trust Saciel's so-called healers any more than...
Come, make your case.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear! I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yes, you know what they say...
I suppose you've got a point. Another... a hungry man, you know.
Sheep's cheese?
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be. Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope your instruction lasts. The last thing the plagued people of Sicil need is a thief among them.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffron's, I dare say.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Careful, comrades. I've seen sorcerers infuse even lowly fowl,
Sigurd
dark
and his
gems.
rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew...
Fantastic!
Bravo! Bravo!
And who are you supposed to be?
Have some pity.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
What's the status,
Another
soldier?
peaceful day, sir. Sorry, sir.
Excellent! Let's keep it that way.
Good to have you back, Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes indeed.
Legionnaire at your service.
Again!
I wish for you to try it, Screech woman.
The beast
That's it,
speaks,
troops.
so you
Train
have
up
to
while
breathe
you
in
can.
film, I'll have
The
you.
next orcish strike could land at any moment.
Her lips and it's an air of aptitude. Sorry, sir.
Hey, Tull. I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only encourage it.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam free.
Legionnaire, at your service. You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into the undead-infested wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I thank you for heeding my words of warning, Hunter. Sicil needs you. Needs you alive and well.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face, Virius. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows
Greetings.
the ugly
These
soldiers
stores are for our Legion troops.
Don't let that rooster escape. He's already on the menu.
A chicken has the right to live too.
Yes, let's pardon him.
Why did you let my chicken escape?
You don't think it's infected, do you?
You let my chicken escape? Looks like it's your lucky day, Jack. Now to tell the troops they're getting nothing but the... You again. Come to throw my dinner. I'm Chef Maurice, the one and only cook. You again. Come to throw my dinner to the wind again, have you?
These stores are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving this day.
My, the hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleep.
Join the steak club if you got an eye for hard potatoes.
On the move for cheese.
Sightseal isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
Warm as dragon's breath.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam free, Hunter. Be vigilant.
Soaked to the skin.
The sun is out. Yet, I feel cold.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be sorry, sir.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
Source Hunter, welcome. Welcome, but certainly. What would you like to know? Oh, I am but a wizard. a guardian of man and beast. And indeed, I am both. My task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature, the very antithesis of which is the intrigue spun by demons. You see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with... To my great regret, none of them purr as yet. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or that such magic is a gift, Hunter. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your wit. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew... Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent. I'm my own wizard, you know. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation... I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grave. They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for... I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were vile. Source, no doubt. I myself have none, even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted Jake's wife, Esmeralda. Now, it may well be established that she is in fact the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but let's just say that if I really thought this murder case would be so very easily resolved, I wouldn't have sent for source hunters. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen, all the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry. And what might those be? One of them failed? Who is the mongrel that dares to question my engineering expertise? I take it the mutt in question was referring to the Sparkmaster 5000. You know what? Here's the remote... In truth, I don't know. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years, the Legion did a good job keeping them at bay. But I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us. But someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's fur. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure... There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools. Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100% legally obtained self-regenerating...
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't... I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil, by which I... Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay? What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion...
I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Furious. You'll only encourage it.
A good day to you.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Stop right there. Until you've received the captain's permission to enter, this door doesn't exist. Got it? Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
Source...
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible! It will consume. By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonian... Oh, yes. Proper introductions. Zix the historian at your service. It is my job to record all... As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of... How you got here, though? That's a rather... On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time... I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But... something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So, go, peer.
I think that imp may be quite mad.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has...
I guess someone else got here first.
Fantastic, astounding. Onward we should go. The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the law. You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. Those torches, a light! This portal, active. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I... It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring... I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very... Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes! The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one. Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first. Yes, just as I hoped. There she is. There it is. Come, don't delay.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicled...
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many
You have brought guests, I see.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why?
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this place? If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, I could describe them, but you are different. Of you, I see nothing. So please, do tell me, how did you arrive here? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life. Not like this, no. What happened to... Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I hadn't, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds...
Mysteries of all time. Gaps in history. Oh, how they've torn...
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus...
I see. What the void...
Yes. Though I cannot explain... If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you...
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable...
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix come, please, our most mysterious guest. Are you ready? Are you willing? Will you...
So, what do you think?
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
Come, come! I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
No matter how improbable...
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem.
Come, come! I got something for you if you're up to the challenge. So,
In the ethereal, the drift of content, except, it seems.
The last test! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my forces.
Got something for you if you're up to the challenge. The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest no. With you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivalon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, you know, don't go. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so...
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivalon, there will be someone waiting for you. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can.
How might I serve our mission? Ask, and I shall answer, if I can. Oh, Hunter, I have no need, and yet I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will... Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be what it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could... I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep darks, I think that perhaps you can redeem time. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified... But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the... New threads emerged, these starstones. Please, alas... A hidden answer lies behind... I believe that starstones will not lead you to new...
wonder, do you know more about the void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time. How might I serve our mission? In the ethereal, the drift of except, it seems. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can.
Good to see you on the shelter plane. A home away from home. A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another.
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle. How might I serve our mission? In the ethereal the drift, except, it seems, you.
Good to see you on the shelter plane. Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Neither do I. But the mere this in turn, we may not understand the how. Wouldn't it just like from what ruins? Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things, but of course I have a price to pay for something that is. So, gather those starstones. Lonesome? Well, yes, perhaps you can imagine the
How might I serve our mission?
I have the last chest. The last chest. The last.
The Lady of Time. The Weaver of.
I have the last chest. The last.
Dear lady, could I get your autograph?
I have the last chest. The last chest. The last chest. If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I.
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at conclusions, how might I serve our mission? In the the drift, except, it seems. Ask, and I am, but perhaps am I the beginning? Alas, a hit, and yet quite so. I do not, but I think that know that, but sudden new threat. These starstones, please.
Careful, comrade. I think I sense a sorcerer in yonder shadows.
Know more about the void? What it is?
Ask away, my friend. Ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back.
The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
Nothing happened. Perhaps we're too far away. This combination doesn't seem to do anything.
So try another.
It shall be my pleasure, Sir Imp. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
A question?
without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you... How might I serve our mission?
I wonder, do you know more about the Void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time. How might I serve our mission? In the ethereal, the drift, except ask, and I am, alas, a hit, and quite I do, but I think that know that but sudden new thread these stars.
Good to see you on the shelter plate, like the imps wouldn't jump from room. I visit we, but where perhaps. What it is, what lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time.
I have the last test, the last test, the last test! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each you'll discover...
The weaver of history, I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, Sir Imp. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
I wonder, do you know more about the Void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time. It shall be my pleasure, Sir Imp. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there 2 of us? 2 beings that record all of history parallel to one another?
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at conclusions, I spin origins besides.
The Lady of Time! the weaver of history. I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, Sir In. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another.
That is a good question.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone. And I'll be delighted to give it. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of... That means the task you have been given remains crucial. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And that's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a But perhaps I speak like any cat worth its salt, though I deeply cherish Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen with... I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among... If Zigzags worries... I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. Then shared... So I told him who I was. In the end, he even shared his great... So before you go, here. Take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Now that this matter has been settled...
Unknown to all time, are you? Leave it to an imp to try to fill our minds with all manner of magical gob. I'll tell you who you are. Source Hunters, members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic in the realm. There, the enigma is solved. What are you? You think I'm... No, comrade. You can keep the honor of being the object of the... I just hope this fancy of yours doesn't interfere with your real job.
Dear me. Oh, how the coast reminds me of my long-fled youth. I sailed the sea. I walked the worlds.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom.
Looking good. Another piece of trash.
Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from nightmare into nightmare.
Legion's greetings, Hunter.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than Starstone. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Well, what do you want to know?
Snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn. Potion hands to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
On the move for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine.
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind.
Anybody?
Can't have gotten
Neither of you
far.
cares to plead for his very existence.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Well, she's... I expect she'll be a very success... Certainly, what would you like to know?
So, which of you...
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little imp are planning. Out! Now, if you please! This room is private.
7 grand abundance.
That's enough of that now! Don't just stand.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel and a good stuff. Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel and a good stuff.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens.
Fresh haddock, nothing for fire.
On the move for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bear.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
So many dead civilians. It's an honor to visit the fallen.
Rest in peace, darling. Peace be with you, Trap. I once lived a prosperous life. Lorne never recovered. She were killed last...
Now you can learn something useful.
Now, vermin!
Sure, other things.
Got you right where I'm watching.
May this divine gift lead us to triumph.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I'd never before envisioned.
That inspiration...
As good as a new penny.